If you think I put out a lot of content now, just wait because it is about to get crazy. Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 140, and today I want to talk about the future of the DrCliffAuD YouTube channel. But before I get into this video, if you could do me a big favor, click that like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that as well, and make sure that you click that bell for notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. With that out of the way, I really appreciate it. Now, I want to get into this topic of what's really going to be happening with my channel moving forward. But let me kind of bring you up to speed basically with where it is right now. So I started creating videos approximately 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago from this point right now. And my goal was to create 2 videos per week for an entire year to give me roughly 100 videos in my YouTube library for people to start learning more about hearing loss and treatment options. Honestly, if nobody decided to watch it at that point, I was going to just completely kill the channel and stop making the videos because it takes a significant amount of my time on the weekends and sacrifice family and friends and all that stuff. And I've been doing that basically for the past 5 years. But as time went on, as you probably noticed, I started adding more content to the channel, more than just 2 videos per week. And I started with doing this vlog, basically because I started my new clinic location and I wanted to kind of go through the process of the build out of that new clinic. And then that kind of morphed into kind of more this style vlog where I'm not really talking about the clinic as much. At least not from a build-out perspective because the build-out's been done for a couple of years now. So, but once I hit vlog number 100, I kind of tossed it out there. Should I continue the vlog? Should I not continue the vlog? And ultimately decided that enough people were interested in it for me to keep doing it. So that's why I'm still doing the vlog. But on top of that, I really wanted to start getting into making some like reaction videos to different videos that were up online that I could react to, because there's a lot of like really bad and deceptive videos out there that I wanted to have a reaction video to kind of go along with it, to kind of point out the flaws of whatever that video is. If you guys want to see some of those, just type in Dr. Cliff Reacts and you can see some of my reaction videos. I also want to react to some videos that are actually really good videos. There was a really good video interview with Barbara Kelly on PBS that I wanted to point out some of the good things and then point out some things that maybe I don't necessarily agree with. Not to say that my opinion is the end-all be-all, but I just felt like that video needed some more exposure, so I went ahead and made a reaction video to it. But the future of what the channel has in store, so about a couple months ago, I hired Brad Stewart, Dr. Brad Stewart, who's an audiologist. He ended up selling his clinic to help me out with my YouTube channel, and then he does some consulting on the side as well, or probably as more of his full-time thing, and then he works with me on the side as my content manager. And so you've probably noticed that there's been a lot more content coming out on my channel, not just on my main channel, but on a variety of different platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all those other platforms that are out there. And he's basically been taking videos that I've already produced and chopping them up and pulling out some really interesting, parts of them and putting them out as like YouTube shorts and shorter versions of these videos on all of these different platforms. And so when I look at the amount of content that's going out on a weekly basis, it is like triple the amount of what I was traditionally doing by just myself. On top of that, we've been able to amplify things a little bit more starting as of like a month ago or so when I hired an editor. And I know that you guys have heard me talking about my editor. Essentially what's happening here is that I'm able to spend a lot more time focusing on creativity and creating the videos and not having to worry so much about all of the busy work to get them edited. And on top of that, get them edited in a very nice way and more up-to-date way, because I have a very basic style of editing and it kind of spices things up with this new editor who's actually good at editing. So I won't go into that too much more because I did talk about this a couple of weeks ago. But that has allowed me to kind of open up what my capabilities are. And I'm actually starting to train, and in fact, I've been training a couple of my employees over the course of the past couple of months. So you may have noticed Dr. Rachel Cook. She is my co-host on the Dr. Cliff Show. She is actually starting to create YouTube videos for the YouTube channel. So we're going through this process of teaching her how to research, how to script, how to record, and all of that. And she's actually done a couple of videos now, and these videos are going to be really, really good. And it's just going to keep getting better as time goes on, as she gets more familiar with how to do this. We actually built out, on top of the podcast space in this new office location that I leased, we also have a YouTube space. So that's where she is recording her YouTube videos. And on top of that, we have Kelsey Beck, who is my extern. And so if you don't know how this works in audiology, when you go through grad school, your last year of grad school is an externship where you go to a clinic, you work at that clinic for a year, is kind of like what you would think of as like a resident in the physician world. You're kind of just working a lot to hone your skills. And she's taken an interest in creating videos. So I've been teaching her how to research, script, and film video content as well. And so here within the next probably 2 to 4 weeks, you guys are going to start seeing videos come out each week from both of them as well. So not only will the Dr. Cliff AuD YouTube channel have Dr. Cliff creating video content, I'm also going to have another doctor creating content and another extern creating content. On top of that, when I get another extern next year, hopefully, the goal would be to bring in someone who also wants to, or who is interested at least in creating content, and have them creating content as well. And Dr. Leslie Balderas, she is actually good at writing, so she is taking on more of the blog writing. You'll probably see her on the podcast as a co-host when I can't make it, but she's really taken the lead on creating blog content. So if you guys are interested in reading the content that she's creating, make sure that you go check it out on hearingup.com and appliedhearingaz.com, which is my clinic website, and you'll be able to see her content. On top of that, we have Bree, who used to be my audiology assistant as of like 2 years ago, and then she ended up going to ASU for the audiology program there, and so she's going to become an audiologist, and she is really good at writing too. So she's been creating vlogs as a like second-year audiology student. And she's a fantastic writer as well, just like Dr. Balderas. So there's a lot of individuals creating content. I have a feeling that Bree might also dabble in the video creation, but being a grad student, as she's going through her program to get her doctorate in audiology, it's extremely busy, so it's hard to find a lot of time to do research scripting and editing, research scripting and filming through that. But the nice thing is that we have this editor, so I'm able to take all of their videos, shoot them off to the editor to have the editor do their videos. So I'm not bogged down by editing their content or having them edit their own content. So basically, the Dr. Cliff AuD YouTube channel is not going to be only Dr. Cliff on it anymore. I really feel like it's good to get different perspectives and different points of view, different opinions, different professional, I guess professional opinions on different types of hearing loss and treatment options and all of that, because everybody brings something different to the table, and to kind of give a little bit more variety and to speak to different groups of people more effectively, I think bringing in other individuals to do that is a good idea. It does make me ponder the question of whether or not I should change the name of the channel. I've built up a pretty substantial brand in the past 5 years, something I'm extremely proud of. And I don't think that I'll ever stop being Dr. Cliff, and Dr. Cliff AuD, whatever you want to call me. That brand, I think, will continue on. But I don't know how much it makes sense to have the channel named Dr. Cliff AuD. Even in all of my videos for the past 5 years, I never said, welcome to the Dr. Cliff AuD channel. I mean, I never did it. I basically said, hi, I'm Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, just to kind of, establish the credibility. I mean, I don't know if I were to change the name of the YouTube channel, if it would even make that big of a difference. And then maybe I don't change it. Maybe, we continue to have other providers be on the DrCliffAuD YouTube channel and just keep it running with the same name. At the end of the day, I think that if we're creating good quality content, the name of the channel probably is not going to matter a whole lot. But I just, I really, kind of like I'm doing in the clinic, I'm actually going down to 3 days in the clinic per week, down from 4 days in the clinic per week, because there's a lot of other projects that I'm getting involved with now. And what that's requiring of me is to train my staff to practice in a similar fashion that I practice, which is following best practices to a T, doing and saying things to patients to make sure that they understand the value of what's going on from a treatment perspective. And that allows me to take a step back inside of the clinic, but still knowing that every single patient who comes into the clinic is going to have an outstanding experience and is going to hear their absolute best, because those are the two things that matter the most to me inside of my clinic. And once those two things stop happening, then we would have issues. But, both of our audiologists, Dr. Cook and Dr. Balderas, have really done an excellent job of taking the things that I have taught them and the processes that we have in place and have taken them and run with them. And, we're starting to get a lot of, 5-star reviews on our Google page for Applied Hearing Solutions that these patients were never seen by me. They may have come in because of me, because of video content, because we don't really do any marketing. All I do is these videos, and people find the videos, they learn something, they know that they can trust us, they know that we're going to follow comprehensive best practices, so they want to come into our clinic. And I've been very open about saying that, every provider, if you're going to be a provider in my clinic, you are going to do things exactly the same way that I'm going to do them inside of the clinic. And so because we've kind of been successful with taking that model and having other providers mimic that model and function within that model, I figured why not do the same exact thing for the YouTube channel? We have providers who have an extreme amount of talent for creating content, and they know so much already that we got to get that knowledge out of their head out to you guys so you guys can make better informed decisions about your hearing loss and treatment options. And I think that I have a way that I can teach the way that I do things to them, but not in a way to where it's just you feel like they're another me, that they're still them. They're still an individual that is creating valuable information and just communicating in a different way. Not everybody likes me, not everybody resonates with how I communicate information, and I totally understand that and appreciate that, because we're all individuals. And so I think that it's important to bring in other voices and other people, and this is why I've always been a fan of, as long as they're reputable individuals, I've always been a fan of other influencers out there in the hearing space to help share information, because there's so much bad information out there. We need more people who know what they're talking about to come on and share this information with you guys. So I'm more than happy to have the other individuals who are on YouTube and other platforms sharing information, because at the end of the day, if it's accurate information, you guys need to hear about it and you need to see it. And so I think that me trying to expand who the people are on my channel is a very powerful thing, and will be a beneficial thing for the channel moving forward. So, a lot of new projects, right? We've got the podcast that's on there. Obviously, Dr. Rachel Cook is on there. I'm trying to use that platform to spread awareness about best practices and about the Hearing Up Network that we have, which is a network of hearing care professionals across the country and hopefully internationally here soon. Other than just Canada, we do have a couple Canadian providers in the Hearing Up Network, but there's potential we could be spreading to some degree to South Africa and possibly even Australia and the UK. So I'm kind of throwing that out there. If you're a provider who is in one of those countries, make sure that you let me know, because I really want to start, and people are seeing my content all over the world. So there are individuals with hearing loss who live in these countries who are trying to find a provider who is following best practices, and they're having difficulty finding them. So if you're a provider who follows best practices in one of those countries, please reach out to me and we'll get you on board with the network. But I feel like I'm digressing here a little bit. The point is that things are changing, and you know, I have always been traditionally okay with change. I understand that nothing stays the same way forever, and I feel like up until this point had a really good run with the clinic and a good run with the YouTube channel, and I'm not saying that either one of them are going anywhere anytime soon, but I can just see where the trajectory of my career is taking me, which is to kind of spread more and more awareness and be more of an advocate for individuals with hearing loss. And if that means me taking a step back inside of the clinic, if that means me sharing the spotlight on my channel, I'm more than happy to do so. And I think that if I'm being honest about it, I think that financially things will be good by me doing so. I really want to get, you know, some sponsor deals for the other providers inside of my clinic. I think that that helps incentivize creating content very consistently, because it is a crap ton of work. I mean, it is just so much work, because you can't function full time inside of a clinic and have time to create content at the same time. You have to take your free time to do it. And people will be willing to take their free time, you know, to create content for a period of time, but once it starts cutting into family time, into free time, and all of that, there has to be something there of benefit to justify doing it. And you know, in this world that we live in, that is typically financial benefit. And so I want to share that financial benefit as well, because I've benefited from it. And, you know, would I do what I do without that financial benefit? Maybe. I probably wouldn't do it to the same capacity that I'm doing right now, but I would still probably be creating content to some degree. But I just know that I would be a little bit more, not lackadaisical, but I would take more time off and spend it with family and friends. And I know it makes it sound like I'm choosing monetary gain over friends and family, and perhaps that's true, at least for this time being, but right now is a time period where I think that we need a lot more information out there, and having the financial gain now will allow me to take a step back later on to spend more time with friends and family that I've sacrificed for the past 5 and now 5+ years going forward. So obviously you can tell this is stuff that I've been putting a lot of thought into, and yeah, so basically what I'm saying here is that there's going to be a lot of changes on the channel coming up here, honestly, pretty soon. I think that you're going to still see the same or more amount of content out of me, but you're also going to see a lot of content coming from different creators and audiologists that I'm working with right now, and I think that it's all for your benefit. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was going to be beneficial to you, so stay tuned. I mean, like I said, if you are not subscribed to the channel and you want to see these other providers coming out, get ready, because here within the next couple weeks, like I said, we're going to be pumping out some more content for you guys from them. And I'm super excited because I've seen the content that they've been creating, the videos they've been creating, and I think that you guys are going to love it. If you like anything about the stuff that I talk about and the way that I present information, I think that you're going to gravitate well towards them. Even though they do have their own voices, I think that the clear and concise nature of the information that they're going to communicate is going to resonate really, really well. So that is really all that I want to say for today. There is a lot more stuff coming up that I'm going to share with you in the next couple of weeks. So again, if you like these vlogs, stay tuned, because the next couple of weeks I think are going to be really good vlogs coming out. I have a conference that I'm going to. We have a big video shoot weekend that we're going to be doing with a different project that I've been kind of working on for the past year plus. And then there's some discussion of me being a keynote speaker for a conference overseas in 2022. So I'm not going to spill all of the beans right now, but a lot of exciting stuff coming up, and I'm excited to share it with you guys here in the next couple of weeks. But that is it for today's vlog, guys. Again, if you liked it, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next week.